it looks like an Elliot episode. Obviously, he's in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So it's more of like, what is the plan? What does he need to wrap up?
Yeah. And how is he going to have access to, or because I think he has to plug it into one of their main computer or whatever thing. So how is he going to get in there?
Yeah.
But
yeah. All right. We'll jump in. We are ahead on our Patreon, full-time reactions, all that good stuff. All those links are down in our description box below. And if you just want to support us, those links are down there.
Yes. And don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe.
All right.
All right, here we go. No.
What in the world? Okay, so the next episode is Who Am I?
Oh gosh. I don't know.
I don't
know what to say, honestly.
That's an interesting way to like this weird twist of like, was White Rose right? Is there another when you die, you go into this new, you're resurrected and reborn into this new life, and it's better and blah, blah, blah. Or it's like the thing where he's dying and he's creating
like the defense mechanism kind of thing.
But then it's interesting. I want to, yeah, because it's like, that's pretty bold for Sam to do, like right at the very, 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 very end.
Yeah.
To kind of just even switch it up even more. Because, yeah, I don't know. Because it's like, potentially, if Sam is just trying to say, like, give his perspective on like a message he believes that the world is, blah, 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 it could go into this weird sci-fi like alternate reality situation.
Yeah.
But for the show, it wouldn't really make sense because it's been very real deal. Like,
I mean, we've had like these fantasies, obviously, like where, you know, the whole prison thing is again the great example of that. Or when he was getting beat up and his dad like took him on a road trip. It's just like, so we get these moments, but it would be very, very strange for all of a sudden because like the whole, you know, the choices we make or whatever kind of affects the outcome of our futures and whatnot. It's just like the fact that Darlene is missing though. It's just, I don't know. It just took me for such a turn. So, and the fact that there was that tremor in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, did you feel that tremor? What?
Right.
And his head's hurting. So
yeah.
I wonder if it's
It's more so probably there is radiation. Maybe there's smoke.
Maybe
you know, I mean, he's in the room.
He's high and like,
yeah, like he's dying potentially. But it's like, what?
But there's still 2 more episodes.
Yeah. So like, what's the end game here? It's maybe the next episode is because it's called Who Am I?
Yeah.
It's like really getting to know Elliot and his alters and his like different. Because who knows? Maybe that. Yeah, because everything's switched up. Yeah, because Gideon's still missing.
Tyrell's doing his thing. White Rose is chill. Like, I mean, it's funny because we said that in the or I think I did, where it's just like, if White Rose, no, it's this one. If White Rose really wanted what she said she wanted, like to help the world, why not come out who she is and just like, you know, be the face of something, be what you want to be in the world.
Yeah.
And then yet here she is, all glammed up.
Doing it. Living her truth. It's like, yeah, if you feel, I'm sorry, this may seem controversial, but everyone, despite the, you know, and I get it, this, you know, having, not being born in the right body, not all these different things, we all have really difficult things because I'm having a tough time figuring out who I am. And that's caused me to have some real, like, I'm on the verge of like losing myself. Like, that's just being real talk. Like, we all are struggling on some level. And I think I get where White Rose is coming from. I get it. And I feel that. And we saw that story. And it is a sad, sad story. But it is a story that millions upon millions upon millions of people go through. Yeah. Historically. We all have a struggle. Every single one of us, if not more. And it's like, I think at the end of the day, I completely agree with what Elliot is saying. It's like, you may feel all this, but you can't change the fact that some people did have a really easy, happy life. And it's not fair to just pull down someone with you because you're struggling. And then the world has to be this way because you believe it needs to be this way. I agree with White Rose. There's too much corruption. There's too much selfishness.
But I was mad. I was sorry, not to cut you off, but I was really mad when he was saying that, because it's like, this is just something that will continue to happen with humans. And, again, I'm happy Elliot said what he said about, we stand up, we rise up, because it's just like, well, think about all the people that have been, the groups of people throughout time that have been persecuted. Like just Rwanda, we got, obviously what happened in Auschwitz. We have stuff that happened in Italy with whatever. So like it's been happening through history, but like at the same time we have those people who fight for it. They know what's right, and it may take time and it may take whatever resources, but there's still people that are willing to stand. And so it's a very interesting statement, or what White Rose, I don't know, they're just psychotic, I guess. That's just the reality. They're blowing up the reactor. Yeah. But it's just like, it's very interesting that they want to keep on like, this will just keep on happening, and like I had to bring this utopian world. I'm like, but that's not.
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. Like you after your husband or your lover killed himself, you made the choice to go down this corrupt path and hurt people in the sake of whatever, instead of using, like in this world. Yeah. You still have some type of power, and you're using it in a hopefully better way. Yeah. So it's just like, you're the hypocrite here, because you chose to go, like Elliot was molested as a child, so he has to get through that trauma. Yeah. But you lost your lover, but you still had influence. You still had power where you were. And yes, you may have had to work hard. We all have to work hard. Some of us don't. Some of us are Tyrells, and we just strangle whoever we don't like
and get away with it.
Woo! But so it's I with you again. I agree with what Elliot was saying in the end there, and
it's like that's a mindset that I think a lot of people have, even in the real world, like people in high positions of power, where they're just like, well, it is going to repeat itself. Yeah. It always ends up like this, and you know what? They're right. Yep. But Elliot's also right. You can't, it's not your job to end the world. Yes. It's not your job because look, people are still trying hard. We're still trying hard with our children. We're still trying to make, like, instill some good things. Like, there's a ton of parents who are
not great parents,
who are not doing what they need to do, which is be a good example and show your children how to be a good human in this society and help one another. That is not what's being taught. That's not what I see on, I don't go on TikTok, but the reality is like both people are right, but you cannot, because of your suffering, you cannot hurt others and thinking it's going to help. Yeah. It will not help. But it's a thought process that I think a lot of like dictators have had in the past. I mean, that's really what it came down to. It's like, I know what's right. I'm going to then speak about it, and people are going to fall in line, and then I'm going to pull the rug from under them. By the end, they're going to be like, wait, what? I didn't realize this is where we were heading. Yeah. Oh, we're taking a bunch of people who are Jewish, and we're putting them we're gassing them. Like, I don't think people in the beginning of when Hitler was talking and all of that, they realized where it was going to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I can't say most. I wasn't there. Not my reality. But like a lot of civilians didn't know about the reality of what was there. So it's just like, when you see someone, you're like, oh yeah, in 5 years he's gonna have people being gassed. Great. No,
you wouldn't know. And it was like a good 15 years before, because I think he had become like the chairman or chaplain. Oh yeah.
Well, he was in prison for a while, and then he got out, and then.
Well, he really slowly weaseled his way into it, and it was like
he does look.
It like became like things happen slowly. It happens very slow, and so, but Hitler thought he was correct as well. Yes. That, most of these people think that they're right. They're correct. And then, but once they start putting people in a box and saying you're unclean, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
That's when it's dangerous.
Or imposing your own will on people.
Because that's what White Rose is doing at the end of the day. And look, I hate that guy, the one dude who's the ex of Angela's ex, like for sure. My selfish human desires,
even in this reality, he sucks.
Would want to just erase him, delete.
But we can't. He's a human being.
Exactly.
He makes his choices. Exactly. We just choose whether or not we want to be around it.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And that's what it is. And hopefully there's more good, sound-minded people anyways in this world. But I think more people do need to step up into that position of being like, I'm going to be a good example. Yeah. And I think that is lacking in our society right now. It's more so about what I look like, what I do, how my body looks, how my this is, what my car is, what this is, and that's not helping society. That's separating. That's hurting. It needs to be, okay, my struggle. How do I get better at that? And because we can all relate on struggle. Yeah, humans relate on that. You can't relate on, I got this car and I got this car,
which is the beauty though, because we've been seeing that a lot. I don't know when the vulnerability really started, like who kind of paved the way for, I don't know if it was like people like Ellen who were just like coming out as, open about their I can't even talk, but it is interesting because while there are these flamboyantly like, oh yeah, like I have these and this, we've seen so many talks of just like vulnerability and talking about our traumas. Even like with you're open up and finally having your journey and talking about it with whoever. It's just like there's more people doing that amazing stuff. And I think as weird as it is and where we are with technology at the same time, I don't think we've ever been as open, like especially when it comes to like people talking about therapy and mental healing, because for so many years, I mean, till recently, like it was a taboo. It was a no. We can take care of our bodies, but we can't take care of our minds. That's a weakness if you have to go take care of your mind. Like you can go to the gym and get abs, but you can't go strengthen your mind. Yeah. And finally, we're in a place where people are praised and just like, yes, I also have this issue. And it's been really beautiful to see that happen. Yeah. In 2022.
Yeah, it's taken quite a while.
And that's the bullshit of it, that it's taken so long, but yet it's happening at least.
People are talking. People are waking up. But again, it's a kind of a weird war that's happening between the self, people with just thinking of self, and then the people who are trying to break out of it. And I do think at the end of the day, it is people like Elliot, was saying, there's more of a minority of that type of person, but that's for another talk, because then we would be talking for hours and hours.
I mean, it's great conversation. That's one of the great things about these shows. Yeah. Like, again, people are just like, why do you guys go so deep in your conversations? Well, it's great conversation.
That's what these shows are created to be talked about. And thankfully for Reactions, there is so many conversations happening on these really deep shows that wouldn't have happened maybe 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. 10 years ago.
Yeah, because we didn't have this access to this. So honestly, I'm happy that more people are doing reactions and more people are like bringing up some stuff. And then the commenters, because they're like obsessed with Mr. Robot and they've done all their research and all that, they will comment and say, well, this is what that means. And this is what and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So the message is being spread. That's what shows are for: books, manga, anime, all that. There's a message there. Yes. And it's being spread through this medium, and it's
and we have amazing conversation, which is beautiful. Yeah. So
well, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. 2 more episodes, and then
a fantasy
what
world.
The hell? I'm glad Darlene's back.
Should have just gone with Darlene.
I just hate that Darlene was erased completely.
Like, they done her wrong. Like, I was hoping to see Leon, like, the CEO or something of, like, a car company. Like, see him on an ad with all of his cars. Like,
They were like, yeah, no, Darlene, no thanks. Too much.
Well, I wonder if she will still show up because
in a different way.
But yeah, maybe not a sister, but, like, just someone working at a coffee shop. And he'll be like, Darlene, I know you.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, and then he's met himself too, but at the end, so that's going to be.
I gave up.
I know. I know. We just have to let the story just unfold.
Let it just
sit
do
back
its thing.
And watch. That's all we can
But it was
do
great.
At this point.
It was great.
But we'll be back next week.
Yes.
We're gonna finish this out. I know. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.